Good afternoon, everyone. It's Sheila here in Boho Daydreams, and welcome to my channel. I hope everyone had a good, happy Christmas and a wonderful entry into 2021. My husband and I had planned on January 1st that we would go and get some firewood. And that was an experience. I haven't done that before, but we found some really nice firewood. But the challenge of retrieving it from down the slope, it's left us both a bit stiff from all the treacherous terrain that we encountered with the snow. My husband says he understands why this isn't something that you do happily in the winter time anymore. So we'll know better. We'll harvest firewood next time, either in summer or in the autumn, so we don't end up falling down the slopes, etc., etc. Anyway, what I wanted to show you, and it has to do with beads because we're all kind of in bead mode. And before I really knew what I was doing, I bought beads that I thought I was buying good beads, and they are good beads, but I didn't understand the differences between a bead like this when I was reading description or a bead like this, you know. So this is a Pandora bead, and this is just a regular bead. And this is a kind of bead that you would wear on a bracelet, one of those really thick silver snake type chains. And so I have quite a few of those because they're beautiful, and I bought them because I thought they were amazing. So I have all sorts of odd pieces that I can never use because I don't like the way they look on my dangles. So this is a dangle that I like. I like it. It's symmetrical. It's not sloppy when I shake it around. It's nice and straight. The caps fit. It's not bulging. This to me is a lovely dangle. Now this is not my favorite kind of dangle. I don't like, for a dangle, I don't like how puffy the top cap is. It just doesn't fit right, and it looks like it belonged on an oval bead, and I have several of those because I can't use them. Now here is the Pandora bead, and look how sloppy that is. The wire is not nearly thick enough or strong enough to hold that bead straight. So unless you're going to put a core in there or glue in there, I used to put glue in there so I could actually use the bead. It's just really messy, and I found that the glue didn't want to stay in one place. It just went all over the place. So to me, I've had to leave those beads aside, but I've been playing around with them because we like to do beads. Whoops. We like to do them. So this is one of those, oh, excuse my nails. I'm just going to say, excuse my hands. They were doing firewood yesterday. They haven't been dyeing, but they were doing firewood. This is a normal bead, and it's nice and tight after I created the dangle. And this is one of those Pandora beads, and it is also nice and tight. And I love it. Look how pretty that is. That's gorgeous. So what I've done, I use odds and ends that I can't always use for other beads. And I went through my stash and I found some really old strands of pearls. And I haven't used them because, well, I like the crystals, but for the sake of using some of the things that I already have, I thought I would get them out and see what I could do with them. So I'm just going to clear my space a little bit. And I grabbed some of the things that I use for my bead dangles to begin with. I love these little saucer type of beads. Oops. They're kind of elliptical, so they kind of have their own movement. I love these little golden balls, little seed balls. I love these little spacers. And then I have these oddballs. These little oddball pieces that I don't know what to use with because I don't like the way they sit on the top of a dangle. So what I decided to do is so what you'll need, what you're going to need is some wire, and this is some 20 gauge wire, and I've already looped it off. And if you have some challenges with making the loops and needing to understand the differences in wires, I'm going to link those 2 videos in the description box. Now, you're going to need your tools, and these are essential, and these are also explained in the other videos that I've done, but these are essential tools. This one is not essential, but it's really nice to have. But a wire cutters, your flat nose needle pliers, your rounded nosed needle pliers, super essential. And this is just a straightening pliers. It'll straighten your wires for you. So I've used some gold 20 gauge wire, and it's just a jewelry wire that you can get at Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby. And I just made a tiny little loop on the end. So I'm going to take one of these little gold balls, and these are a staple to me for my dangles. I just love the way they finish off. The top and the bottom. So I pop one of those on. Then I want one of these elliptical beads, and I think I must have got those. I don't even know, because I have like a ton of them, so I don't even know where I got them. And then you pop your bead on, and you hold it tight, and because of the way that elliptical piece is shaped, it sits in that hole and it stabilizes the bead, and it gives it an appearance of it being finished off very nicely on the bottom. So for that, you just need an elliptical bead. Look at that, isn't that nice? All right, so then the top, I have used all sorts of stuff, but what I'm going to use is one of these caps that I can't use for anything else. I'm going to pop that in there like that. Pop it on top. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Then I'm going to grab one of these pearls, and I'm going to pop that on the top. And I have different sizes of pearls, so it depends on the look that you want. I'm going to try this one right here. I wish I had my glasses on. It would just be so much easier to do this. There. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And then I'm going to take and finish it off. Let's see if I put this on top. Just one of those little spacer beads on top, and then a round little bead. On top, let's see. Nope, I do not like it. So I take that back off. And this is all impromptu. This is all just being done as I'm going along here, discovering what looks good. Oh, I like that. I like that very much. So that I'm going to tie off, but I'm not going to tie it off on camera just because I want to put together another one. And I've already done the video on tying these off, so I'm going to link that in the description box. All right, so that's one of them. Now, let me see. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. And you know, when you use these Pandora beads, you can cut your wire shorter. My wires are cut longer because I didn't realize that this would work. This was just something that just happened just now. I have to show you because I don't know if you have a lot of beads that you didn't know what to do with. I sure did. Okay, so I'm going to pop another one of those on. For these great big hold beads, you need that. You need one of those elliptical beads. And there, I just popped that on. Now, what I want to do is use, oops, one of these cones. One of these cones. Because you're looking for beads that are going to slide into that hole to stabilize it. So let's pop that on. I hope I'm in camera. See if that one works. Yes. All right, let's get another pearl. Let's see how this one looks. Nope, that one's too big. That one is too big. Let's see. What have I got here? I need one of the medium-sized ones. Let's pop that on. Yes. Ooh, that's really pretty. And that doesn't need anything to finish it off. That's finished just like that because of how beautifully that bead cap cone just kind of surrounds that bead, and it just finishes it off beautifully. I'm going to tie this one off though, just to show you what they look like. So am I in camera? Yes. So I always hold my beads because I want the top loop, the bottom loop to be the same. I want them in the same directions. So this is how I hold them. It stabilizes that loop so it can't go anywhere. And it stabilizes everything. And I just take this pliers. This is the flat-nosed pliers, and I just make a bend. Grab my needle nose pliers, and I'm hugging the bead. As you can see, I'm touching the bead. I want this pretty close to that 90-degree angle, and I'm still hanging on to the bead like this, and then I take and fold it over. I fold it right over, just like that. But I'm super right-handed, so now I have to take, it was like this, and I just take and put it into this hand, because now I want to bring the wire around again. So I take, bend that wire around. I just bent it around, so it's got that 90-degree going in the other direction. I take this pliers in my right hand. I take the end of it because I want this tight. So I wrap it around a couple of times. Make sure it's tight. It's tight. So it's kind of a little bit off center. So I take this and I bend it straight. You have to be careful. If you make it too tight, this little loop here is going to unloop, and then your bead can fall off the bottom or it gets sloppy. So that's the only thing to watch out for. I want it straight. That's straight, and then I just take my wire cutters. I cut it off. That's it. And that's how you use your odd pieces with your odd beads that you can't really make dangles with because the hole is too big. I hope this has been helpful. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you all soon with some new colors for some silk ties and velvet packages. Bye everyone.